back. Just because it doesn't hurt doesn't mean you shouldn't follow your rules. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to cover obeying your stop, even when it doesn't hurt. Seriously, just because it doesn't hurt, it's only $20, 10, 15, 50, maybe $100. Doesn't matter. If the plan says get out, just get out. It doesn't matter what you think. And obviously, this is, depending on your account size and where your stop is. But if your stop is at, let's say, that 30-minute candle high from the last 30-minute candle, and it closes above that, on the 10-minute, the way I use my system, for example, I'm getting out. I don't care if it's just $15, $20. It's just time to get out. Because the times that you keep saying that, oh, it's just 15, it's just $20, whatever, it'll come back. It doesn't hurt. Yeah, but why are you going to let it run against you so that you're going to lose 200, 500, or $1,000? Don't let it go against you. Your rules are there for a reason. You can always get back in. Oh, you know what? I got out a little too early. Just get back in. But it's better to be safe than to be sorry, and to give up $500, $1,000 because you were being stubborn and you didn't want to obey your rules. The rules are there for a reason. So when you have a plan, just trade your plan, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cover the initial analysis for this morning when I was looking at the SPY. So here, looking at the SPY, obviously, I start with looking at the weekly. All right, so I'm looking at the weekly and what the weekly is doing. So obviously, we had some consolidation here. It's just going down, up, down, and pretty much hitting this resistance level all the way through here. And if it's having a hard time staying above there. So this is where it finished last week, and this week obviously it already started by gapping down, so we're a little lower. And it's just trying to close this little gap here. So far that's all it's doing. It's not doing much, guys. So yeah, overall on the weekly, what I see here is that yes, we do have potential to go lower. But again, depending on the account size, so this account size I'm managing on this cash account, it's a small account. I can't afford to let this run against me forever because I don't know. I mean, this could literally blow through this resistance and today or tomorrow, and now you blow up another account or you lose more than you should have lost because you didn't obey your stops. So the first thing I looked at, okay, well the weekly is supporting a down move. So let's see, maybe we're going to move lower, but I'm going to remain objective because again, we are in a tricky area here. I mean, this thing could blow higher or it could continue lower. So now, the play is still not determined, and obviously we're going to look at our play based on the intraday because it is a smaller account. So now I'm looking here, and the daily is telling me the same thing. Okay, well, we had a hard time breaking through here, so we're having a hard time breaking through here. We're coming back down, Ron. So, the potential move could come back to 275 here easily. Look at that 200 moving average on the daily. So that could easily come back down to that level, if not down here to the, what level is this? 273 area, obviously. So, we have two targets here on a longer time basis. So I like the odds here that we are potentially moving lower. So this is what I'm looking at. And then look at the volume when it came to Friday. 98% all sell volume from all of Friday. So that's, it's more than likely that we are going to have follow through today. So again, we're going to trade the day accordingly, but we're going to still remain objective. But we want to look at what the bigger picture is telling us so that we try to be on the right side from the beginning and not try to get ourselves killed here. But again, nobody knows. We don't know what the market is going to do today. We can only play it accordingly, okay? So this is the pre-market setup. So now on the pre-market, I moved my stops from the entry on Friday. I entered on Friday up here, somewhere around here. I got one contract at the 280s. I got one contract at the 280s, and obviously they were in the money today at the open. They were green, they were up, they were making money. And I think at the peak they must have hit like $100 or something like that. But this is my pre-market setup here. I boxed it in. I said, okay, well this is my stop for my initial entry, so I only got one contract again. I'm layering in, guys. I'm not gonna go too heavy because I don't know. I predicted that we were gonna have a gap down, but I don't know for a fact. So one contract is not gonna kill me if it goes a little bit against me. If we, if this thing rallies to 281, 280.5, whatever. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just get out and take my small loss. One contract is a lot better than losing on 5 or 10. So this is my new stop here for those. And then again, I boxed it in to see which way I want to go today. But for the long play, guys, you have to pay attention to every little piece of information that we have here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the one I got. So I had these, the 18. So we were up at 1850 around that time on the pre-market, and it was the 280s here, obviously. You see. So we got the 1850s, and we have the 280 strike puts. So we have one contract. Okay. So now the market opens, and this is what happens. So now the market opens, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man, I hope nobody's gonna get stuck going long before waiting for it to confirm. So this is what's going on, and obviously you guys know it did break this high here. So I did get stopped out because it closed here, and I was like, you know what, that's my stop. And yeah, I only lost $19.19 or something like that after fees, maybe $22, $21, but it doesn't matter just because it doesn't hurt. And regardless of what I think, yeah, I still think it's going to go lower. It doesn't matter what I think. You know what? Let me close it because I don't know for a fact that it is going to stop here. I don't know for a fact that it is going to do what it did. So, you can see here, I took a snapshot right before I closed it. It was at 1550. I'm pretty sure it was at 19 something by the time I closed. I think I closed it at 163 or something. So here we go. Obviously, this is what it did. So I closed the position out. And this is exactly what it did right after I closed it. Okay, but you know what? When it was hanging up here, I didn't know that it was going to do this. So I said, you know what? Let me take my stop and let me get out because I don't know for a fact that this is going to go lower. I'm predicting that it is going to continue lower. But based on this account size, I can't risk. It's just not worth the risk to give up more money than $20 because, why lose $20 when, why lose $200 when I could just lose 20? I'm not going to be stubborn, Yeah, this thing could rally all the way up here to the pivot, or it can continue higher to even to this pivot. They're not that far apart. This is a pretty close area here, So I said to myself, okay, well, I'm going to give up those $20 and I'm going to move on. And I'm going to wait for a confirmation that we are going to go higher. If we are going to go higher, and then I'll play it that way. And then or I'll wait for it to break lower, and when it breaks lower here, again, we're still within my time frame where I want to see the break lower, break high, then I'll play it that way. And sure, yeah, you could have faded it up here and said, hey, let me take a short, but I don't know that. I wasn't going to risk taking a short here, up here, because I don't know for a fact that it is going to go lower. So I went ahead and took my loss, and then I waited. The only reason I didn't go long right there is because I was looking at the tick. I was looking at the VIX. And overall, guys, the signals were there that, hey, this could potentially go lower. The tick kept hitting the minus 500. By this time at 9:45, it started to hit the minus 500, and it was still not hitting the plus 500. So, even though it was here, it wasn't hitting plus 500, and I wasn't comfortable going long just yet. And we're pretty close to a pivot. I don't want to miss out and wait for it to close above the pivot if it is going higher, but I wanted it to see it going higher beyond this high here, obviously. And I probably would have waited a little bit past like 9:44, 9:45, just to make sure that we were going higher, and the tick and everything else was just contributing to that. And again, you want to layer in. So I would have got one contract just to make sure, because again, what are we looking at here? We're looking at a pivot. This pivot is pretty close to this pre-market high. So the chances that it'll hit this pivot and quickly return lower are pretty high. So I was not going to take that chance. So I just went ahead and did not take it long, and I just waited. I'm going to wait for a better entry, and that's exactly what I did. So the market came back down, and I got in. So I started to layer in, guys. I started to layer in, and I got me one. I started with one, as you can see here. I got one, okay, at the 279.50, and then I added two, and then I tried to get two more at a better price, obviously, as it started to jump up and down, jump up and down. So I got one and I waited to see if it was going to rebound higher. I wanted to see, oh, okay, well, you know, because it's pretty close to this pre-market low. So I was like, let me see if it's going to bounce up and down. When it didn't, I was like, okay, let me add another two. And then I had another two just in case, at a better price, in case I could get a fill on those. So let's just take a look at those trades now and see how those did. All right, so I got stopped out of my 280s right above here. Lost about 19 bucks right when this 9:30 candle closed. I closed it. It was $19. Yes, it didn't hurt. It's not hurting, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't follow the rules. So once we open, my new stop for the position I opened on Friday was the pre-market high. So as soon as I closed above that on the 10-minute, I closed. Notice I did not take a position right away into going higher because it took a little bit longer to break that, and it was towards the close. I wanted to see the second candle kind of confirm that, and obviously it didn't. But I wasn't gonna wait for this either to determine if I was gonna get out of my position, because I don't want to be biased. Like, all right, it'll come back, it'll come back. Just because it doesn't hurt doesn't mean you shouldn't follow your rules. But if it's $5, $10, $15, 20, 30, 50, whatever it is, just get out because it's, you know, that's it. It's a plan. So just get out. It doesn't mean you should hold on because it doesn't hurt until it hits $200 or $500, and then when it hurts, you want to get out. No, get out when the plan says to get out. And so my plan says, okay, the pre-market high is my new stop. We closed above that on the 10-minute, so I took my exit. And now I'm waiting to see if I'm going to go ahead and play this long or play this short. Again, remember to remain objective and then play the market the way it's telling you to play. Okay? Sell, sell, sell. All right, here we go. We got a break low. I'm going to go ahead and get some puts here. Get one for now. All right, we got one. All right, we got one because we want to see if there's going to be a pullback or anything like that. So that's why I layer in with one just in case it's going to be a fake out. The candle's almost near the close, so I'm just going to wait for it to close and then I'll get more. All right, so I like this sell pressure coming in. I'm going to go ahead and add some more now before the close of the candle. I'm going to go ahead and get two. I'm going to get two. And all right, now that we are in, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our stop management. Stop limits. And the limit's going to be, our stop's going to be high of this 30-minute candle. And our first exit, I probably will definitely take some here at this pivot here. Let's go ahead and switch over here as well. All right, and we'll update later. All right, here we go, guys. So it is what it is. You know what? It went against me. It closed above my stop on the 1040 candle. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my hit here. You know what? It's not worth it. It's not about what I think. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my loss here because it could continue going higher. It may come back. It doesn't matter. My system says get out. I'm just gonna get out. And there you go. But now I'm done for the day. So I took maybe a $300 loss today on this trade. I took a stop up here when I got stopped out for my Friday, and I took a stop here when the candle closed above my 10:30 stop here. So it is what it is, guys. Now this account is done for the day. I'm not gonna put any new trades into it today. But you have to trade your small accounts in this manner until you have them where you can get in and out, and you can take make wider stops, or you can take different kind of risks based on the account. But when you have a small account, play it tight, play it safe, and just follow the rules. Just because it doesn't hurt does not mean you shouldn't be getting out of the trade. So again, this original stop from Friday was only $20. So what? You know what? That's what my rules say. I'm going to get out. I didn't know this was going to happen, you know? And yeah, when it broke lower, you know, I like the way the internals were telling me, hey, we're going lower. But look at it now. I'm not going to suffer through this pain. I'm not going to wait for this to come all the way back here. So that is why it's just not worth. It's just, you have to risk. You have to manage your risk accordingly. You know, what did it do? It just broke above this 50 MA on the 10-minute candle. It's just all these little factors that go into play here, guys. And it's just, okay, now I'm done. This account is done for the day. I could still make a couple more trades, but, you know, unless I see something undeniable, I'm just going to stop for the day because it's just not worth it.